Yes, yes, people. What is happening? Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome back to the Friday Night Debate Show. Before I introduce my guests, I just want to say this video is sponsored by Football Prizes. For you guys to get a chance of winning this Man United signed memorabilia bundle with the legends Cantona, Keane, and Giggs. You just have to go and get yourself a ticket. Each ticket costs £4.95, people, and the competition ends on the Monday, the 20th of June, 7:30 p.m. So not long to go, people. A couple of days for you guys a chance to win this signed memorabilia bundle. The link is in the description if you want to go and get that. Football Prizes, people. Make sure you go check that out. But listen, let's introduce the guest because we have a lot to talk about. This is the debate show. We will have Danny and Nuruddin. Nuruddin wanted to get involved, so he came in and messaged me. So Nuruddin will be coming, and Danny also will be becoming the chairman and the CEO of the John Myrtle. And we have the deputy here as well. I don't know if anyone else in the Myrtle hype, but we'll see. But listen, before we start, man, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're watching right now. And yeah, let's introduce this guest, Adam, onto my right. How are you, brother? You good?
Yeah, I'm all right, bro. I'm all right. I hope you're good as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Big up to you, Charlie, mate. Everything all good. I see your video before, man. Looking all well, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot, mate. Nice and hot day as well in the UK. We don't get many of them, so it's been nice today, and I hope you're well, mate.
Absolutely, mate. Big up to you. And Statman Bays, Mooka's already here. He's saying Statman looking stressed already.
Nah,
Myrtle,
man.
what?
I'm relaxed, man. The only problem is what 31 degrees outside. It's hella hot today.
You know what? It's actually gone dark in Manchester now. It's a bit like grey. I don't know where you are, Charlie, but it's got grey outside for you. It's gone murky and grey.
Yeah, it's still nice here, actually. Still nice outside here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just Manchester feeling of the transfer window, but listen, we are gonna get into it. You know what, man? Let's start with the CEO of the Myrtle Madness. What did you say at the start of the window for the people? You did actually. You're the guy who made this word, by the way, Myrtle Madness. You're the one that invented it, so you can explain where did this Myrtle Madness come from? How did the feeling come about?
I'm still relaxed, with the situation. Very, very relaxed. I don't know I'm going to get cooked. But listen, we've had 9 years of incompetence, yeah? And I say this. How people view Manchester United is not going to change overnight. It's not. People we seen I think the report was today by Jonathan Schrager, some at United since that clubs, agents, and players are currently trying to exploit Manchester United. We've overpaid for many players over many years, kind of thing, innit? All of that is not going to change overnight. So when now United are trying to negotiate a good fees, even though we might not be the quickest, it's the right thing to do, innit? Because this is what's going to help United in the long term. We might not be the most successful this summer. People might be frustrated this summer. But you need to know, we haven't had that manager. Pep's been in charge. They know their targets. Targets don't come you don't wake up one day and say, yeah, I want this player and we're going to make it happen. Ryan Gravenberch from Bayern Munich, he said Nagelsmann spoke to him in October. And that's what the deal got done 4 or 5 days ago. I spoke to Jez said something in the chat. He's a Spurs fan. Apparently Spurs were interested or were talking to Basuma from January. Signings take time. And if people really want to back Ten Hag's obviously said these targets, you have to relax. You have to be patient.
Thing is, though,
you have to trust the process.
I don't know how you can say to people, relax when you had the season we've had. Statman, do you understand? We've had the worst season I can remember as a fan. This is not. It's almost as if it's not a quick fix, but you also have to be quick. You can't just stand around. Arsenal are doing deals. Arsenal have had a similar, they've just about reached top four. They nearly reached top four, and they're going out to buy players.
Yeah, but who said we're not working on deals? I said it. We're clearly working on De Jong right now. We're working on that Porto guy. We made.
Let me tell you something. Do you know the De Jong deal? Nothing's changed in the last week. Does it?
Jerry Romero just said we made another bid.
Where he said that?
On his Twitter. Go check it.
Listen,
right now.
I put it on the screen and I'll share it. Send me the link and I'll share it. Charlie, are you as relaxed as Statman here? He's rocking on his chair. You know what I mean? I've got a similar chair to him here, but I'm not rocking on it. He's rocking, he's chilling. I'm not rocking on my chair. Look at him, he's rocking about. I'm not rocking about. This is serious, And for me, I don't want people to blame Ten Hag. That's my biggest concern, is that people in this fan base, they're fickle. I know they are. I never once blamed Ralph Ragnick because I knew there was a lot to do in that time, and it just wasn't right with this group of players. How do you feel? Like last week we had this chat, and it's the same old feeling.
No, yeah, I'm not. I'm not really very relaxed about anything, to be honest with you. I'm a bit fed up. I'm a bit fed up with it already. I know transfers are complex, but you look at Liverpool and Manchester City are already light years ahead of us. They've strengthened. Spurs ahead of us already with Conte, and they've strengthened. Arsenal have strengthened. The only team that hasn't strengthened is Chelsea, and still they're probably going to spend quite a lot with the new owners. So, yeah, I am very, very worried. Look, I understand in terms of sort of De Jong. Obviously, it's quite an interesting sort of scenario with Barcelona now in a stronger position. With obviously the economic levers, as they're called, I think they've been activated. But I still think De Jong is very, very possible. I think Barcelona will just keep on playing poker. I think it'll probably end up getting done for like 90 million euros in total, probably. I think United are looking to offer about 80 in all. So there you go, 70 plus bonus. I think that's what we'll go with next. And then we'll probably settle for about 85, 90 million. But to be honest with you, I'm very worried about not just, I think, the midfield area, but the defensive area. The news we've had today that Ten Hag might be working with Varane, Lindelof and Maguire. That worries me a lot, to be honest with you. And also the fullback area. I'm not seeing too many links to any fullbacks. And also, he said he wants a striker. But for me, I don't think a striker is a real concern at the moment.
But if you can't get a supply to the striker, what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And we've already got one of the best finishers in the world, in my opinion, still in our team. So I'm very, very worried for next season already, unless we really get. And I think this Derby lad, is it? I can't remember his name. This lad from they're going to make that like a proper signing. That's not a proper signing. That's just it's a youth player. That shouldn't even count towards the number of signings. So they're going to try and do this. They'll do it with Eriksen as well. That should be apart from the main 5 or 6 signings that we should make. But unfortunately, I can't see it.
Yeah. So what's it say here? Man United continue to raise the offer, 70 million plus dollars for the Dutchman. The club is still convinced. But then again, here, big up to Torn. Is it Torn Tasso? Torn Tasso. He got Barcelona at least 186 million. That's 73.8 for Frenkie de Jong. But United's valuation is thought to be closer to 65 million, 55 million, 0.8. And as things stand, is yet to be a breakthrough. So what he's looking at about 17 million in differences, Adam. Again, it's just making that serious attempt. I do believe it could get over the line. I think there's a possibility, just because I feel like, for me, it's the only midfield that we need right now, that at this minute in that area we need. What's your kind of assessment on it now that you've seen? Because Telegraph Docker is a very, very reliable journalist. He's the one that broke out the Ten Hag news at the start. So how's your overall assessment, bro?
Bro, I'm more with you and Charlie, to be honest. I'm not relaxed. I am not relaxed. I am not confident, really, to be honest. I think we will probably get Frenkie de Jong over the line, but we will do it in the most Manchester United way possible. Like, we will pay what they want too late after the preseason starts. Like, it's just going to be typical United. It feels to me, at least. I think we will have to get it done, because you can't walk away from that deal, because you look like it's proper embarrassing if you don't get it done. Like, really, really, really. But then again, I hear what Statman was saying about things take time, but that MURTOUGH guy that you are defending, bro, in October, he was still defending Ole and he gave him a contract. So yeah, these things, they take time. But what was happening in October and November and September for United? Like, we still had Ole in charge because those people decided to give him more time. So yeah, I hear that it takes time, and you need to change the perception that people have about United. And that just we need to make it known that we are not going to be pushed over and stuff like that. But there are some things, there are other ways to send a message, and that would be, you want 80 million euros for Frenkie de Jong, okay, get it done, but we want it done next week, and we move. And you give them what they want, fair enough, but then you get it going. You send the message clear. We're not going to waste time and this and that. Just get it done, make it happen, we move. So I'm not relaxed. I'm not relaxed. I don't think Murtough is that competent, or at least it doesn't look like it. I don't think it. I think the club is a mess, to be honest. Like Ragnick leaving, I was very, very against it. Pretty much so. The news that we saw about Maguire and Varane and Lindelof, I'm not happy with it. I think we need two midfielders, two centre halves, just as much as we need two midfielders, to be honest. And we need like 8 players. That's how bad the state of the club is, to be honest. So I wish I could be as relaxed as you, Stat man. I wish.
Wait, can I say something? You know when you said give them what they want? Is that not what we criticise United for over the last 9 years under Ed Woodward?
No. What United have been doing over the last, I don't know how many years, is they do not really give them what they want, and when they give it for the wrong players. You should be doing this with Maguire.
No, but that's still overpaying for players, kind of thing.
Well, you're not overpaying for Frenkie de Jong, are you?
No, but United think they could get a better offer, a better deal.
Yeah, that's what they think, because they don't understand the player. They don't know how good he is. And they don't understand.
No, it's not about how good he is. It's kind of like you see it with United. Barcelona's financial situation, United think they can get a better deal here.
Yeah, of course. But bro, if they ask for 15 more millions and you can't give them 15 more millions, they will probably just keep him because he's that good. They don't want him to go.
Yeah, I know, but listen, like you need to realize, like United, first of all, our first offer is never going to get accepted. That's not how negotiations work. United are going to try and negotiate the best offer for De Jong.
Yeah,
of course, like we're still going to be a bit far away, kind of thing.
Yeah, of course, but bro, the quality of the player matters. It does matter.
I hear that, yeah, but just because De Jong's a quality player, you still have to take into consideration Barcelona's financial situation.
Yeah, of course,
you might like, you know me, I love Frenkie de Jong in it. I think he's a quality player. But if United are trying to negotiate the correct fee for them, I'm fine with it. Because this is something we criticize United for. We overpay for players massively. Yeah,
but first you don't overpay for him regardless. But then again, it's been 5 weeks since the news broke about Frenkie de Jong. And
I know that.
We made a bid, supposedly. It's been refused. Okay, fine.
But we also know, as I said before, signings take time. Like, this is what people need to realize. And I said this, Gravenberch, Bayern Munich were working on that deal from October.
Yeah. You know why that?
But I don't. Yeah, go on.
You know why is that? Because they don't have Murtough, mate.
No, but it's also because they had a manager. They knew his targets.
Yeah, first thing. Another thing as well. Look, there are many ways to send a message. And one of the ways to send a message is get it done. Like, our new manager wants those players, get it done quickly so we can get to work quickly. Because United next season needs to be different. So I hear that. It's an easy deal to pull off. I hear that. But still, we are making it look more difficult than it actually needs to be. Like, I'm not on the complete opposite spectrum. I hear what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying to quite an extent. But come on now. Like,
yeah, let me bring in Danny, the chairman of the MURTOUGH, the clan. You know what I mean? Danny, what, let me ask you a question. First of all, are fans rightly, should they feel aggrieved by the lack of, activity that's going on? That's the first thing I want to ask you before I ask anything else. Do fans have the right to feel that way?
In these debates, man, look, if you want to be, there's different ways to look at this. I understand the emotion involved. I understand that part of it. I understand the frustration, the PTSD. The football club has no credibility at all. If we had credibility, we'd be relaxed and say, well, we'll get it done, don't worry. But there's no credibility. So I understand why Adam has... I understand his response. It's just, at some point, though, logic has to override the PTSD, the lack of credibility, and you need to look at the circumstances that we're in.
Don't worry, mate. Right? I'm logical and rational and calm.
No, you are. But, like, when it comes to certain things, people won't. You're assigning value to the wrong things. You're assigning values to your preferences, how you want to see things done, your perspective of what an elite football club does, rather than the context of the situation that we're in. I always say this to people, the context matters. Who we own by? We know who we're owned by. What is the challenge? What is the project? How do we go about doing a project? First of all, how do you judge a project on the 17th of June? I don't know. I don't think you do. Everyone talks project, but they don't actually want to. You judge a project over time, number one. So even if Murtough, let's hypothetically, had a good window, you two would be the first man to say he has to do this 5 more times. So we know this has to be judged over time. Facts. You guys know that, right? Ten Hag comes in late. You can blame Murtough, Arnold, whoever you want to blame. Cool. Fine. We got the manager late. Should have got him earlier. They gave him a list of targets, a handful of them. We don't know all of them. Some have been made public because of agents, others haven't been. Man said, nah, this is what I want. First window, these are the guys that I want. I want De Jong, allegedly Timber, Anthony, and there's other players we're not aware of. But midfield's the priority. So as it stands right now, I think we should just be talking about the strategy. Is this the right strategy? If you don't think it's the right strategy, fine. I can see that point. I can see that point of view. But then there's other factors where people become inconsistent, right? One of the challenges this new board or Murtough and Arnold faces is credibility in their industry, right? They're not negotiating with me and you. If they pay over the odds and it pleases Adam, that's fine. But then there's 20 technical directors across Europe who think they're mugs because they could have got a better deal. Do you see what Bayern are doing with Mane right now? I think the opening bid was 28 million. They're taking the piss. The fact that they're winning.
Why are they that?
Hold on. The fact that they're winning is irrelevant. You operate on principles. When you have principles, it means you're going to suffer. You might not always get what you want because you're sticking to your principles.
I don't think we have time to suffer, though. That's the issue, Danny.
Respectfully, Saeed, that's I'm sorry. A fan can say that. Professionals can't say that. Do you want credibility as a football club? Right? Everybody's looking at you. Hold on, Adam. Everyone's looking at you. Are you the same Man United? What did they used to say about Woodward? Listen, hike up the price. He will be back in 6 weeks to pay it. I promise you. That is the reputation as a football club that we have. We have to change that. And it's going to be painful to change that. I understand you don't want to go through the pain. I get that part. But these are the things that have to happen. Otherwise, if we and by the way, like Glazer...
Okay, give me your time frame then. When do you start to question it? When do you start to question it?
I don't kind of notice Glazeronomics is real, right?
Yeah, I know that. I've read it.
Know that.
Yeah.
You of all people know that side.
Yeah.
Every million they spend over on one deal impacts the next deal. Then it impacts the deal after that. Then the deal after that. And I think you man realize with the Dean Henderson situation, we ain't raising no money from sales. It's going to be like last year. We get 2 players. They'll brief the media. This isn't about Murtough or Arnold. This is a Glazer and Joe Glazer thing. They'll brief the media and say after we get 3 players, oh, now we have to sell to get more. So these men have to be prudent in what they're doing. So I'm happy to discuss timeline and strategy, but that's where it should be. We need to stick to the context. We know, like, we've got 10 years of crap to fix. You don't fix that all or get a good feeling, a good going on the 17th of June 2022. Like, I have to be honest, man. Like,
can I just read a super chat before you go, Adam?
Yeah, I want to judge in 5 weeks. And when did the window open to that, man?
It opened obviously
Friday.
A week ago, yeah.
Friday.
But the thing is, I believe for me though, I still believe the football club.
We ain't signed the player in the last.
No. I think for me, just before I kind of read the super chat, it goes, our fan base are so cuckoo. We complain about Pogba and going for players that don't want to come. SMH. Adam, do you want to say something in retaliation?
Yeah, just quickly on what Danny said. I hear what you're saying. But yeah, I hear the credibility thing, and the fact that Bayern Munich are winning, as you said, is not irrelevant. I think it's probably the most relevant thing. They are in a position of strength. So if people ask 55 million pounds for a player and they want 35, they can actually really, for real, walk away. We can't do that. Look at Manchester City when they first got money. They overpaid for their players until they had a good basis of good players. And then they can allow to go and buy someone like Ferran Torres. And then, I'm sorry?
Are you talking about the start? Are you talking about Pep era or City in general when they first?
Oh, City in general. City in general.
No, they were buying players for 25 to 30 mil a pop for good value. They were just buying.
No, they were overpaying for the players because all of those players were getting mad wages.
They didn't overpay for Aguero. They got Aguero for about 35 mil. That one overpaying.
Yeah, we're talking about when? We're talking about 20. When is it? 2011. And I'm talking about the wages. And then you finished your point.
All these men cost less than 40 million. In a time when we paid.
You know what bugs me, Danny? You know what bugs me? When you talk at the same time at someone, it doesn't really disturb you that we're both talking at the same time. Like usually I'll let you go. It feels like it doesn't bother you that we are speaking at the same time. You are quite comfortable.
You need to relax, man.
Yeah, quite comfortable.
Okay, you go, Adam. You go.
What I said is,
you were interrupting me 2 minutes ago. I just stayed calm, settled down. You just wait. I've settled down, so you can go now. Go ahead. I apologize.
You said, hold on. I said, yeah, go ahead, mate. I'm sorry. This is what I said.
So, yeah, you go on. You go, Adam.
Smiling.
What I said.
No. You go, Adam.
when you are winning and you are in a position of strength,
Yeah.
it's easier to get the deals and it's easier to walk away from them. Look at City. When Ferran Torres wanted to leave, they said, you know what? Leave. Because we are that good at the moment. You know what we need to do? We need to take a loss at the moment. So we need to pay for the players, get it done, get a load of good players in, become a very good club, a very competitive football club. And then when we go for the next thing in, let's suppose we go for Jude Bellingham in 3 or 4 years' time. Well, at that moment, you can say, you know what? Maybe maybe we'll walk away from that deal. Maybe. Because you know what? We want him, but we are not desperate for him. We're not like, fine. But at the moment, we need so many players that we can't be dealing with all of them and making deals for all of them, trying to make money here and there. Glazonomics, as you said, is a real thing, and it's actually a real thing. So we need to.
Let me ask you a question, Charlie. Do you think there's a strategy that can be taking place in the short kind of window we have? Because you've got to remember, Ten Hag likes his players coming early. You would hope that he'll try and fit a lot of people in the system. You know, we've got a lot to do. Just even general, even tactically on the pitch, there's a lot to do. Never mind the transfers coming in. Is it the right strategy that Man United are taking on now? Do you see that it can work?
Well, I see where both Danny and Adam are coming from in terms of what Danny says about building a reputation, but I also hear where Adam's coming from in terms of getting things done quickly because we have so much to do. So it is a tough balance. And I've said this many times, I'm never going to say that transfers are easy. It's just that what Manchester United, what I don't get is if the Glazers ran this football club in a better way, they would actually make more money. That's what I just don't get. They would actually make more money. We could be so successful. We could be incredibly successful. And we could be dominant if the Glazers ran this football club properly. We need I think we need at least 6 signings personally. And I do think that if we do sort of mess around too long with De Jong, we will be in trouble, because I think the longer this De Jong deal goes on, obviously the less time Ten Hag's got to work with the team, the new signings in pre-season. I would personally like De Jong to be done in the next 2 weeks and at least another signing in the door before pre-season, if not 2. But, you know, I've said this before, and Statman knows, and I've said this many times. I'm still yet waiting to make a judgment on MURTOUGH and Arnold. I haven't seen anything evidence yet. It is sort of, we're going to see the evidence soon, but I think it is however right that we are demanding that we do put pressure on them, because it is Manchester United. We've had the worst season ever. We've got a lot of players that aren't good enough. We've got Liverpool, who were close to doing something impossible last season, but we got away with it really as Manchester United. We did get away with it with City coming back and Real Madrid winning in the final. You've got Manchester City who have won 3 in the last 4 years or something like that, Premier League titles, I think. So we do need to be demanding. We do need to put pressure on them. And I think let's see what they do. But I'm not really confident, because I think whoever's at the top, if they remain at the top, I don't think that many things will ever change beneath them personally. But that's just my view.
The feeling for me, Statman, that I get is, say now the De Jong deal looks more unlikely, and because the player at the minute doesn't want to leave, that's what you can gather. The player doesn't want to leave, but if there's an approach from Man United and Barcelona feel that they should sell De Jong, then they will sell him, and he'll be happy to go to Ten Hag. That's the situation we're at right now. Say De Jong actually doesn't happen, because there's a chance it could not happen in the first year. He might come next year. You never know. Similar thing with Sancho. Are United going to be prepared? That's my feeling. Are United going to be prepared to look for other alternatives? Is there a feeling from you that there is alternatives? Because at the minute now, there's Vitinha, but PSG have started to look to. They're going to get the deal now as well done. Where do you see? Look at here, you know what I mean? Breaking. Vitinha is one step away from PSG, so everybody's stepping up, and that could not be credible. But at least there was that rumors I put out there today, and there was that is it Portuguese journalist that was saying that PSG are looking to get this deal done quickly.
That Pedro guy, isn't it?
Yeah, Pedro, he's reliable, right? Can we agree on that one?
I don't know much about him, kind of thing, innit?
Okay, but do you see the fears though? If you lose out on this De Jong, it's looking very, very bleak.
Yeah, I hear that, but then that's up to the club, up to the recruitment team. Do we have other targets? Only time will tell if we do. Because like Danny said it before, like our scouting network was actually not too bad. It's whoever had the final say in signings that was probably the biggest problem at the club. If United are, for example, like we said, well run, then we should have other targets. Like if United are willing to walk away, let's see who the other targets are. Like that Vitinha guy, I thought, like I seen like people say like he might play alongside De Jong. I thought it was more of a De Jong replacement in terms of like stylistically, his profile wise, kind of thing, innit? So we'll see.
So it's basically, Danny, we have to wait and see what Barcelona feel. Is that what we're doing right now? Is we're just basing everything on how Barcelona feel about this? Because right now, De Jong doesn't want to leave. Is that fair to say, Danny? That we have to wait until Barcelona what they do?
I don't think Messi or Arthur, who got forced out a year ago, wanted to leave and they left. Different situations. But Arthur did not want to leave, and they made him leave.
Different profile of player, though.
It don't matter. Arthur's
No, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. De Jong is better than Arthur.
This is the thing, yeah? Like, what reports do you want to believe? That's the thing. I only listen to...
No, but I'm just giving you a scenario. If De Jong does stay, what do we do?
This is what I'm going to say. I only listen to Ducker, Mitten...
Yeah, Ducker, yeah. And he's the one that put before. Do you see the report, by the way?
Those are the three that I listen to. When it comes to...
Who's the third?
Someone will tell me, yo, this guy in Spain is credible. Yeah, someone DM me.
So you don't believe Gerard Romero? You don't believe Gerard Romero?
The 95. That's what I was going to say. The 95%.
Yeah,
guy.
that's the one that Statman believes. Statman believes that one.
No. Barcelona fans said he's reliable, innit? This guy just trying to...
No. Don't backtrack on this one. No, hold on a minute. You're just bigging up your guy, Gerard Romero, and all of a sudden, I don't rate him.
No. I said Barcelona fans have told me he's reliable, like he's tier one for them kind of thing, innit?
No.
He's there some luck first. He's there some luck first. And Saeed will know you have to take everything with a pinch of salt with some luck.
Yeah, pinch of salt, yeah.
But, so look, again, what reports do you want to believe? He doesn't want to come. Okay, cool. He's a professional. He realizes...
Yeah, I get that.
He realizes he's had 4 managers at Barcelona. 4. And the latest one has subbed him at every opportunity. Anyone who knows Barcelona knows there is a bias towards Spanish players, especially if they're Catalonian. And they're drip feeding information to force him out. So ultimately, he's a professional. He knows that they've already, again, depending on who you believe, the relationship is now strained because they're on the low they're negotiating. And by the way, if you believe some reports, again, who do you believe? He's agreed personal terms. Why do you agree personal terms if you're not going to go to that club? They're not. So we can't, we know that he didn't want to leave, but as a professional, he's been forced in a situation where he might have to. So that's where we're at.
By the way, let me ask you a question. Danny.
We know it's not.
Is that a good strategy to go and deal with personal terms first before you go and deal with the club? Are we not going on a back foot here where we're starting off badly here? Is that another strategy from Murtough? Because I've seen it a lot now. A lot of going to the player first rather than the actual club. Is that a strategy that Murtough's using now?
I'll be honest, I think that's normally how it works in football, but you should do both at the same time, you'd imagine.
I think personally you should come to the club first if you want to get on the right foot.
Pretty sure I think Woodward's done that back in the day where we agreed a fee and the player didn't want. You don't agree a fee and then you don't know if the player want to come. Saeed, why are you acting like you don't know how football works?
No, but you know now because you know why? I feel like
I'm not having this.
No, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question though. If you know a club, I know. For me, I don't know if I'm bugging here, but if you know a club wants you and they've received a bid, then it makes sense to you to decide whether you want to go and discuss personal terms. Is that my own opinion, or are you guys in the panel right now? Am I just bugging here?
If you do your due diligence through third parties, because speaking to players before you agree a fee is illegal in football, allegedly. So you do your due diligence through third parties and agents. That's why football clubs use agents, so they've got plausible deniability. And then you find out if that player wants to join. You get an idea of what you have to pay. There's no contract. There's no clause 1.2. This is what
it's meant to be.
It's none of that. It's just, no, do you want to come? Yes. What? Book figure. Okay. Look.
No, but there's a lot of emphasis now on
20 million euros. And then the agent will just tell the football club it's going to be 20 million euros. We're looking at 4 to 5 years. Football club will say, okay, if we can agree a deal. That's how football works. I don't even know what we're talking about here.
Okay, Danny, what's your opinion? How do you reckon? How would you go about it? Because I feel for me, what he says here: submit your bid, personal terms, medical. How do you think Man United are going about it, Adam?
Officially, see, that's the official.
Yeah.
Are we all going to pretend we don't know that agents are talking to players and hawking their players? What are we doing? I'm confused.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
genuinely.
Okay, Adam, what do you think? Adam, what do you think?
I hear what Danny's saying. I think it's like you said, Danny, is the legal thing, what actually happens, the third parties. I think all of this actually takes place at the same time,
Yeah.
like a bit at the same time, and then is the player interested? Yeah, then you talk at the club and you talk with the agents. What is the salary? I think it all happens a bit at the same time. So I think there is a clear, defined structure, like legally in order, like for all to see and for all to hear. But I think it's a bit at the same time. I would agree with Danny there.
Oh, sorry, Nuruddin's in the background. Charlie, what do you think as well? Charlie, what do you think?
No, I agree with Adam. I think both sort of happen simultaneously at the same time. I think I understand in terms of personal terms first. Obviously, you need to know if a player wants to join, but I think you sort of know that you know if a player would be interested anyway, just using common sense. As silly as that sounds, just using common sense. If you look at a player, where you're signing them from, what's going on at their current club. You know, is your club in a better situation than theirs? Are you a big club? Does that player know that they're going to play regularly? Well, they're probably going to be interested in you. You know what I mean? So I think it's sort of common sense anyway. Obviously, then you've got to sort out sort of more sort of what wage do they want? You know, what sort of fees are you going to have to pay? Yeah, so I think they do happen sort of simultaneously, but obviously the most important thing is to know if the player wants to come. But I think it's pretty much. I think you sort of know that anyway. I think you sort of know if a player would be interested in you anyway, personally.
Mm. Mr. Structure is in the building. You know what I mean? We're here. You're part of the Waiting FC army. I'm more kind of like want to know what the ins and outs and what's going on. Nuruddin, we're just talking about the Myrtle madness that we were kind of hoping we would get. It's still pending. It's still pending, but we are getting to that situation where there is time. But I don't believe as a fan we're using that time wisely because Fabrizio Romano, whether people like him or not, says it's the same old as last week. And we're here last week on the debate show. There's not been an improved bid. There's not been anything going on. It's just the same old. United still waiting to kind of get that last 17 million in. What's your assessment, man?
Wait and see, FC. Here we go. Here we go. You know me. I'm the founding. I'm the CEO. I'm the guy that turned the Wait and see, FC. But big up everybody. Big up Danny. Big up Adam. Big up Statman. And I forgot the other brother's name, man. But big up
Charlie.
Big up everybody, man. Big up Saeed TV Army. How are we? Listen, you know, the only thing that I'm not buying in it, you know me, with my agenda, with the Glazers in it, and with the bankers. For me, I'm not having this 150 million BS. I'm not having it. I am not having that. Man United made 600 million, I think, last year. If I'm not mistaken, the figure could be wrong. But I understand that 300 million goes to the wages. We just cleared Mattis' wages, Matic's wages, Pogba's wages.
Lingard.
Who else? Lingard's wages. So those people are left. So wages are cleared. So at the end of the day, listen, the idea that I think a couple of things can be true at the same time, innit? So there's general frustration with the season. There's general frustrations again, the PTSD in it that we've got. Here we go, another manager. Is the club got to back him? You know, and then there's a new structure. And the different ways the expectations are set in it. So there's expectations like, okay, we've got a new structure now, Andy O'Boyle, you know, everybody can see, you know, how it's going to work. We're going to do this. And then you got a new manager that's coming in. And then him coming in. And if the reports, the guys that are informed, you know, the ones who got good sources at the club, if you're listening to them, this is as much as on Ten Hag than anyone else. At the end of the day, apparently, he's looked at the list and said, nah, this list, we need a new list. This is what we're going to go forward. So for me, wait and see, FC, mate. And I'm just holding court. I'm holding court. But the idea that what the club's pushing, now I understand that. They might be not meaning for me.
Breaking news. I did say to you guys that the list is getting smaller and smaller. But breaking news, Paris Saint-Germain have reached an agreement on personal terms with Portuguese midfielder Vitinho. He's Luis Ocampos' priority for midfield and talks are in progress with Porto. He's considered a top player for present and future by PSG. More to follow. I did
You know
say
what?
it again.
But
Another
but
midfielder
Saeed,
gone, and you want me to
but
be
Saeed,
calm.
no,
Everybody wants me to be
no.
calm.
Now, Saeed, you know
This is
what? You
it
know
is,
what? To be
man.
honest with
I'm
you,
done,
you know
man.
what, Saeed, trust me. We were not in for that Portuguese gun.
But
These
we
Portuguese
were,
man are moving. Now
Jonathan
listen, no.
Schrager said it. I'll read you the tweet.
Now listen, you know what? These people can say it, but I'm telling you now, when Man United are like going out and briefing that we're in for these people to try to play this game of poker, as Danny calls it, with Barcelona, we're going to be linked to a midfielders and the midfielders that might be similar and that's why I always said, I said it to my friend, to my cousin in the group chat. Man United are now going to be linked to midfielders of similar attributes or similar like style of play, and we're going to be linked to that because Man United are going to do. And listen, we already know Linked FC, Scouting FC. To me, Paulinia, I refuse to think that Ten Hag's come and on that list he's on it. Like I don't know. I maybe that's just me.
Is he? Where's he? No, you're talking about Paulinho. We're talking about Vitinha.
Yeah, Fatina. Yeah, Fatina. I'm talking about Fatina. I don't believe he was on our list because my guy comes from nowhere, and all of a sudden, Man United, trigger, and then the guy contradicts himself. The same guy that was saying that Ten Hag is meeting Nuno, you know what I mean, Mendes in Portugal to have a meeting when Ten Hag's in Ibiza. You know what I mean?
He said European City. That's what he said first. European City.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
So at the end of the day, to me, I don't trust a lot of these Portuguese people in it. I don't trust their reporting in terms of Man United being linked to players. But to me, the biggest thing is that I don't care what other clubs are doing in it, because Man United are in Man United mode in it. At the end of the day, we're no longer dining in terms of we need to know where we are. We are a Europa League team, and we got to hold that, right? That's who we are, right? So even if anybody wants to come to us, our name still means something. I believe that. And I believe if we have footballing people at this football club doing those deals, we'll be able to persuade a lot of the people that want, if they want to come. And the idea for me that Frenkie de Jong is not like the idea that Frenkie de Jong is not like already said yes or give the thumbs up or give alluded to. I find that ludicrous because then I think we might as well all pack up and leave. Then we've got more.
Let me just update the people. Jonathan Schrager is a reliable guy with United. He knows a lot of stuff. You know, he gets a lot of information from Man United. And this is what he tweeted about 3 hours ago. Man United are currently discussing personal terms for Vitinha, but I've not made an official bid. This is what I was trying to say, Danny, before. You know, you know what I mean? Like, do you know what my frustration here just before now when I was talking about it just then now? Like, you know, this. You can do two things at once, but Man United are just so concerned about, like, you know, doing the personal terms. They're not doing the other part as much, if you know what I mean, Danny. They're not. Whereas PSG, right, a compost, let's get it done quickly, done.
Saeed, honestly. So
it's discussions.
So I'll give you an example. I was in a space. Yeah. There's a Villa guy, you know I'm talking about, Nerden, James, who pops in, the Villa fan, right? Yeah. I bet everybody here was shocked when he went to Villa. Because he's a Villa fan, he's like, no, we knew for a few months he was coming. We didn't know he was going to Villa, did we? We live in this Man United bubble where this news pops up and it's like, oh, this other club just went and got him. No, I bet if I speak to a PSG fan, they've been tracking this guy forever. Like, this is the problem. And I don't recognize that, guys. I don't know if that's credible or not. All I know is two Portuguese newspapers, one said we were making a bid, one said we were interested. Within the same 24 hours, Porto president says the bid has come in, but he rejected it. And then that guy who said Ten Hag was meeting Mendes in the European cities on Sky Sports saying Man United are not interested, and now PSG have him in 48 hours. When I tell people there's no respect for Man United's name, and this is why, you can just throw Man United's name out there and people will believe whatever the narrative is because we've got no credibility. Yeah, Liverpool got finessed into paying €100 million package for Nunes, but because they've got credibility and titles, people won't see it that way. But that is the reality. The boy should have been available for €60 million, not €100 million, right? But because United were involved, look, they got the better of United. If that was the other way around side, we'd be vexed. We paid €100 million for Nunes. Let's be honest.
Man. When you see now a Campos, the new sporting director of PSG, just come in the role, and he's looking to get this done quickly, swiftly. You know what I mean? It's forget about thinking, he's not going to fit into our system or whatnot. But again, we were linked with Vitinha. You know what I mean? Whether we say it's a concrete story or not. But does
For
that
24
again make you a bit more worried? Sorry.
But Saeed, listen. But Saeed, how long was we linked to it?
Statman. I'm saying, I say Statman again. Does that not highlight the issues at the football club still?
I think the Vitinha one's a bit different, isn't it? Because I swear it's just a release clause, PSG pay it, and then obviously the fees. Listen, they don't care about the wage structure at all, innit? Whether that changes with Lewis Campos is a different story, but from the history they have, they don't. So even like say if United had made like activate the release clause, I still think you choose the PSG.
Well, okay then. Oh, that's your answer, Statman. I mean, Charlie, what about you?
Well, I'm just reading some news on Twitter. It doesn't look like the talks were even that serious anyway, by the looks of it. So I don't know whether it's just agent talk, but I'm just, to be honest, I'm just fed up of it all. I was looking forward to this summer. I was actually looking forward to this summer, but
look what you've done to it, Statman. Look what you've done. Danny, don't get off the camera. Get off. Come back on the camera, man. Statman and Danny, have some shame, man. Look what you've done to him.
It's like you're the same guy that gassed up Harry Maguire, yeah, saying he's better than Van Dijk.
Stick to the context.
It's the same logic.
No. Stick to the context. You said Merton Madness.
You know what? Listen. You know what, Statman Bays? I was telling him. I was like, Saeed, don't die on that hill. Harry Maguire is not the hill to die on, bro. It's not the hill. I was telling him before we bought him. I told him right there and then.
Charlie, you're at uni. It's the summertime. Go enjoy your summer. That's my advice.
Listen. Have you not seen that? Look. I've been kissed by that Mancunian sunshine today, mate.
It's raining.
I know it's raining now, but it was kissing me all day, bro. I've been out. Boston, you see that? Got the wear in it. Repping the Dashikis, mate. You kidding me? The Dashiki weather.
Watching, by the way. Make sure, guys, you're liking the video, people. Adam, I'm going to go to you next, man. You know what I mean? The Vitinha news now. For me, it's the options are getting smaller and smaller. The pool of players are getting smaller and smaller. We're hearing about Timber news. Apparently, it crashed. You know, in terms of personal terms, again, nothing's advancing at the minute. It's just almost a case of we've not reached anywhere. You know what I mean? There's no kind of excitement. You can't tell me right now I'm negative. You can't show me anything that's positive. So you know, you can't knock me down, really. Adam.
Yeah, I hear that. The Vitinha thing, I'm not sure how much we were really in for it. I think Timber, Frenkie de Jong, and probably Nunes are the three players, maybe like we had some serious interest. Timber and Frenkie de Jong, obviously. Nunes, I'm not so sure, but it appears that Ten Hag maybe. But like Nordin said, when Pogba was still at the club and people say, oh, maybe he will leave or not, we will link to Milinkovic-Savic because he's a big midfielder of his size profile-ish. I think Vitinha may be the same thing. But my problem is I'm willing to be patient and I'm willing to give the MURTOUGH madness and everything a good, fair chance. But my problem is, let's suppose they are being very serious and they have a budget of 125, 140, for example. And if they are really serious about not paying over 75 million or 80 million for Frenkie de Jong, if they are serious of walking away, that means the rest of that money can be spent now. If they are serious about walking away. So that tells me they will overpay. There will come a time where they will give Barcelona the money they want. Because otherwise they would say, you know what, we are not moving from that 70 million-ish that we are actually ready to spend. And we can get Timber done and we can get other players done. I don't know what are the other targets, to be fully honest. But if they are really, really serious about walking away, they could spend the rest of the budget. And they are not doing it because Frenkie de Jong is number one priority. So that means they are actually... At some point, I think the only positive thing is I think we will eventually get him. But to be honest, I'm not so sure about them being very, very strong in negotiations and being really, really willing to walk away from the deal. I don't trust it. I really don't trust it because if they were serious, we'll spend the rest of the money already, get Timber in, just so the fans have something to look forward. Like a new centre half, they can actually come in, and we need many centre halves actually, not only one. So. I'm not that optimistic. I really am not. I don't think things are changing. Go ahead, Charlie. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but you know what, Adam? You know what will happen? I can see it coming now, right? Frenkie de Jong will be the Pogba replacement. The Matic replacement will be James Garner, made out to be a new signing. That's what's going to happen. I can see it coming already. I can see it being James Garner, Fred, McTominay, and Frenkie de Jong in the pivot options. That's what's going to be given to us. I can only see us making... I can only see us making 3 signings for money deals, probably plus Ericsson. They'll make this young lad from Derby look like one of the main signs. I honestly am fed up. And it's not just, I understand we're in the first
I don't
week.
want to laugh.
I understand we're in the first
Yeah.
week, but that's not the reason why I'm fed up. Like, even if we'd signed 1 or 2 players, I just know, I can see what's coming. I just know what's coming. As Danny said, we're not going to get anything from the Henderson deal. Who are we going to sell? Who are we going to make money from? So you're talking, I just don't get. And as Nuruddin said, Man United should be spending way more than we do. And if the Glazers ran us properly, they would make so much more money. So I just do not get this football club.
That's one very good thing. I can't understand for the life of me how the Glazers have taken so much time to understand that having someone like Ed Woodward in charge is actually costing them money. He can strike a deal with New Era all day long. But if you have you sack managers every 2 years and you don't get the good players and the right profiles and all sort of a mismatch of profiles of players, you're losing money every single time. So,
you know, my feeling, can
I just say one thing?
Okay, go on.
Don't trigger me with the budget, please, because I'm holding it in. So don't trigger me with the budget talk. Yeah.
You know me, yeah. Can I just say something? My kind of negativity doesn't come from that I am like coming at MURTOUGH. I'm just worried about the season was absolutely dire. And honestly, I've never ever seen it like that. I watched David Moyes and it wasn't even that bad under David Moyes. This was the worst season I have ever seen ever. And to put
you preferred 100 crosses. You preferred the 100 crosses into the box.
You know what? I probably did, man. I probably did. But
at least Fellaini got his head on it.
Yeah, Fellaini got his head on it. My thing is, right, before I open up the chat, people, this is a very, very serious season because it's the season that we have had. You have to put that into accountability. Yes, the club have to, Danny. Yes, the club have to make sure it's okay. And you know what? They have to make sure it's things are done in a credible way. But you also have to say to yourself, right, we've had the worst season ever, Danny. You have to put that into consideration for the lack of, kind of activity that's going on right now. And I understand that there's targets available, but there's also has to be backup replacements. There has to be some sort of action. That's my only concern about what's going on at the minute now. I just don't see it. And when you look at it, Danny, how much would you say would be a kind of a good reflection of the transfer window? How many signings would you say would be a good reflection for the transfer window?
Are we talking personal preference, or understanding who are owned by and what the constraints that we're operating under from our own?
No. I think realistically. Okay, I'm going to give you my example. I think realistically, for the season we've had and for the players we've lost, we should at least, as Man United fans, get between 5 to 6 players. That's what I think.
Okay, that personal. I don't have an issue with your preference, but I'm actually Charlie's prediction. I've been making the same prediction. I think we'll get 3 players in due course. Remember, pre-season starts earlier because Ten Hag brought it forward. So I reckon by mid-July, there'll be a 3rd player arriving, which I know is optimistic right now. But I'm telling you, man, once we get that 3rd signing, you're going to hear about us needing to sell people. And when that happens, Saeed's back. When that happens, Saeed, we get 3 players, yeah, and you're told we need to sell, then Mr. You know who's going to pop up and remind people what because I keep saying this. You want to judge, like, we know who we're owned by. And you know what I've realized, Saeed, yeah? Don't get twisted. See, this is the thing. Ten Hag used to be a sporting director. Don't forget that. He's built clubs from the ground up, yeah? He's working with MURTOUGH. These men are not stupid. They know they've got players. Dean Henderson's gone to Forest. Not a mid-table team, not a Europa League team.
Just to get out. Yeah.
Eric Bailly's on 100+ grand a week. I know he was relatively fit last season, but overall his career injury prone, right? Martial's on 250 grand a week, and that Sevilla loan was a horrible advert for him, right? We've got assets. Be honest, Saeed, if you're looking at the summer, are you really going to plan and be like, I'm going to get money for these guys and plan your summer and your priorities based on players coming up, going out? You're not going to do that. So that's impacting how we're going to...
You consider it, though. You would consider it as well.
You consider it, but like, that's why I'm saying free, then you're going to hear about man having to be sold. And that's why they're operating on what's our actual budget, whatever it is. And that's why they have their priorities. I don't know why that bothers people. I don't run the football club. It's not me. If it was me, we'd have £300 million to spend. I didn't set the budget. What I would say, though, is there's a timeline for the De Jong thing for me. It gets to a point where you have to pivot. I get it. You don't want to.
When do you give that? When do you give that? Give me an honest answer. Has he gone?
Just like that, he got stuck. So I hear him in the space. So basically, he said by the end of the month, Danny. If I'm not putting words in his mouth, he said by the end of the month, he thinks we should just pivot or let it go.
Donny van der Beek.
Yeah. But at the end, listen, you're dealing with Barcelona, innit? Barcelona are posturing. Barcelona are trying to do some things, try to come back. And, you know, the other day, Laporta is even talking about, we'll bring even Messi back. Listen, you still own $1 billion. you're still in debt by $1 billion, lad. So you need to chill out. But, Saeed, listen, to me, the wait and see FC is because you know me, innit? I'm going to start absolute stripping people, innit? I'm going to cook them nicely, yeah? People who've been telling me there's the change and all of this change, yeah? At the end of the day, I always say it's simple, innit? Like, don't take the job as a director of football on Man United, knowing the people that you're working with, innit? Right? Let Danny finish. He's back now. Danny, you back?
Yeah, Danny, what was he saying then? You're on mute. I can't hear you, brother. Can't hear you. By the way, there's nearly 900 of you on here, and if we don't have half the likes, mate, you're a disgrace, innit? You're like Man United, you're like MURTOUGH.
Yeah.
So guys, people,
listen,
make sure you like the video.
You shouldn't take all the time.
You're a bit behind, Danny. Come in and out, Danny. You're a bit behind.
You're behind a bit.
Yeah, people, just while Danny sorts it out, please, guys, make sure you follow everybody on here. So United Real Therapy, Adam Manred, Charlie's channel, and Statman Baines. Go on, Nuruddin.
You know what? I just say, so if you like Avram Glam's, Glazer's little bit of hair at the back of his head, just give it a little tap. That's all you're doing. You know, when you smash that like, it's like you're just giving him a little tap. Danny, you're back now, yeah? Can you hear us, yeah?
Sorry, man, I have to go Ethernet direct into the with the Wi-Fi. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah, we can hear you.
So Danny's got one room in his house that's got like it's Nigeria in it. One room is in Nigeria, the other room is in England, in it. Or maybe one of them is in the US, in it, because he watches basketball or whatever he watches, in it.
Different rooms and different this, in it. The Wi-Fi. Listen, let me don't lose my train of thought. Basically, look, Barca wants allegedly 75 mil guaranteed, then add-ons. Yeah. So if we do that, then we're relying on sales even more. So I understand the club's position, but this is the thing: you have to pivot at some point. I don't know what the cut-off point would be for them. A week from now, 2 weeks from now, whatever it is. But at some point, you pivot. And we don't know what the other targets are. Andy Merton was basically saying the only reason why we know about Pau Torres is because of people from Spain. Like, it's agents and foreign media. The English media actually don't know who the targets are. That's one of the problems as well, which makes fans more nervous. But listen, if we don't get De Jong, then that changes how we're going to move. Like, Ten Hag has a plan. There's no doubt in my mind Ten Hag has a plan in terms of the profile of player he needs. If he gets De Jong, he knows what he wants next, which, by the way, might not be a DM. I think people have caught on to that. If he doesn't get De Jong, then he might be looking at a different combination. We don't know what the permutations are. And now they're saying, I know this is going to piss off Adam, centre-back's not a big priority because they want to get forward. And that's why I'm telling people it's going to be 3 signings and you're going to hear Man United need to sell to get 4th.
Well,
and again, when that happens, I'm interested to see where people are going to target. Are they going to go for the low-hanging fruit, or are they going to actually see
who's the low-hanging fruit?
Low-hanging fruit. Yeah. He's the low-hanging fruit. Also, another thing, Nerden will know this. Nerden will know this as well. Remember this year, see people who want Ragnick and want all these £30 million guys under the age of 23. Ten Hag's come in and said, "No, I want De Jong." Yeah, that's what he said he wanted. Yeah, he didn't.
Nah, let's not disrespect Ragnick like that. You know what I mean?
No, Said, pay attention to what I'm saying to you. Yeah, Ragnick is a guy. He's not interested in De Jong. He's not interested.
How do you know that?
No, that's not it. He decided, and you answered my tweet the other day.
Hold on, he comes from Leipzig. We don't know. We have no track record of him doing big deals. And his own words.
Yeah, but that's according to the budget of Leipzig.
10, 11 players over years, not one summer, by the way, like some people try to say. He speaks a lot, but he meant over a few windows. And he's always said, young, hungry football players.
What's De Jong then?
De Jong's going to be 25. He's making 300 grand a week.
Yeah, but he's a
come on, man. Come on, Danny, man. I thought we were getting somewhere now. And that's for me. I can't have that.
I don't know what you don't like. If we had Ragnick, I'm saying we'd be going for £25 million players who are.
No, but how do we know? How do we know the strategy? You're just saying something that's off your opinion.
No, Saeed, listen. I'm a person that's watched every press conference.
I don't think he understands the point I'm making.
Yeah. So basically, what Danny's saying is, listen, it's a player profile, yeah. It's a player profile, yeah. So basically, Ranieri in the press conferences said Man United should stop going for older players because he's the idea of football, what he understands in it. Hungry, second contract, first contract, but second contract, younger players. Fit guys who've got something to prove in it, right?
I agree.
And that's the type of players that I thought Man United would get. And when I put the thing about why are we going for a guy that is on that ludicrous money like De Jong, I said it because I knew De Jong was on a huge money. I know that because when Barca bought him, he was one of the best players of Ajax, and he went to Barcelona. And you know what the wages Barcelona give? We already know this. You know, in the last decade, what Barcelona have been doing, splashing cash like it's tap water. So, to me, I thought the club would go that way, but obviously Ranieri, that role, all of that got shit. Ten Hag comes in, and Ten Hag has gone, oh, there's a problem with Barcelona and De Jong. De Jong is going to be crucial to the way I want to play it for Man United. He's the guy I want. And now we've got to back the manager. But what we're saying is that, to me, also, the thing that was confusing and creating a frustration, Man United used to leak like a sieve, innit? That's what I used to call Man United, innit? Sift FC. That's what we were. And now, especially during transfers, Man United are not anymore. So that is where the problem lies. And nobody even knows. The guys who get briefed, the guys in the know, don't really know that much. We know a lot of things from agents, and I agree with Danny. Agents and journalists from abroad. That's why we know a lot of things. And even the De Jong thing, we knew it because the guy came out with an explosive tweet going 95% done deal. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That was like a month and a bit ago now. So it's ridiculous. We're getting clickbaiters. That's why I always say the clickbaiters are out there.
I know.
So we can't let the frustration boil over.
No, it's not boiling over. I'm just trying to...
Go on. I need to go to another thing. But the point I was trying to make, Said, is, Ten Hag has got his plan. He set us on this path as the coach. He wants De Jong. Once you say you want De Jong and you're dealing with Barcelona are an irresponsible football club. I hope people can tell. I don't know if you guys watched that assembly. Honestly, irresponsible football club. They're doing 360 deals. If you know the music industry, you know what a 360 deal is. That's what they're doing to get money for 1 year to be back in this position in 2 seasons. So we've picked De Jong. That's the club we're dealing with. All I'm saying is on the 17th of June, I'm cool with it. Come 30th of June, come 15th of July, my energy is going to be different. I'm just reacting in real time. It's not the end of the window yet. At the end of the window, if we've done nothing, then I'll throw my toys at the pram. Until then, I'm going to wait. That's what I'm going to say. Big up to you, man.
Okay. Big up to you, Danny. Big up to you, bro. I just want to read a couple of super chats here. Kidane Dixon says, all the players that have been bought by other clubs, Ralph recommended in January. That is a fair point as well. Yeah. And Aslan Rami, he says, nobody's talking about the obvious angle. Eric Ten Hag would have been told the budget is circa 120 million. Love the guy, but fear he's done a deal with the devil. Statman, is that a fair assessment? Is that because you know what? They did lie to Ralph Rangnick. So who says that they won't lie to?
Well, how did they?
And that's not even me giving you a dig.
Listen, Saeed.
How many? Saying later on.
What manager did they not lie to? No. Tell me what manager they did not lie to. Name me one manager they didn't lie to.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. All of them lied to all of them. Statman, I'm saying by the end of the window, I'm probably talking to. He's saying here, love the guy, but Faye's done a deal with the devil. Is that a fair suggestion to make? I think it is a fair suggestion to make. What do you think, Statman?
No, but we've kind of known in terms of above, every manager has had a problem with them, kind of thing, innit? But like Louis van Gaal said it, like United were a commercial club. Now we are Richard Arnold. Only time will tell, innit? Like it's kind of like what Nuruddin says. We have to wait and see if he has done a deal with the devil, or if how much United have changed under Richard Arnold.
Do you believe things have changed? Do you believe in your hand of heart and what you believe as a Man United fan, looking on the past patterns of Man United? Do you think things have changed?
Only time will tell. As I said, the
poke question.
No. Yeah. As I said,
go ahead. Sorry, bro.
I've always had a problem with whoever has the final say in signings, innit? That's been my biggest problem because I do believe the scouting department, some of them know ball. if you look at it, footballing CVs, they scattered incredible people for other clubs, isn't it? So that's what I've always said. Let's see who makes the final decision now with signings. And that's where only time will tell. If it is Murtough, do I trust Murtough? To an extent, yeah, because he's a footballing man. Like he's not a businessman. He's not a banker kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's that. You know what bugs me? Statman and Danny are so easy to go in on Ragnick, but so easy to give a chance to Murtough when Ragnick has been actually proven in the past. No, the thing that Danny said about cheap option, he said he wanted the guy that went to Liverpool, Diaz. He said that Alvarez was available in January. And he said that Vlahovic went from Fiorentina to Juventus, was also available for 70 million euros. So that's are not cheap deals. Going back to what Danny said, not what you said, Stan. So the thing with Ragnick is he wanted many players out and many players in. And that's basically why he got shown the door. And it's a very, very political sacking that they gave him. And
so you don't wait. My personal opinion is, I think Ralph and Ten Hag see football completely differently, kind of thing, innit? And which is why they decided to part ways.
This is what I said when we got Ragnick. I said, there's no way in my mind that they appoint Ten Hag just based on the fact
I said the exact same thing as well.
Ragnick plays football. I was much more looking forward to Nagelsmann, but he's at Bayern Munich, so of course it's a bit difficult. Marco Rose, Thomas Tuchel, Ralf Hasenhüttl. I was expecting managers of that type instead of Ten Hag. So that means the communication at that point was also very, very shaky because Ragnick, as much as he understands, and knows Ten Hag, he wouldn't be his first option when it comes to continuity between his job and the next man's job.
Can I just come in? Yeah, can I just come in? You know, I fundamentally disagree with that because as a director of football or somebody who, to me, first of all, as Saeed, yeah, I said I was going in spaces when everybody was getting giddy. We got Ralph Ranieri, yeah. I repeat again, innit? I repeat again, yeah. I'm going to repeat again. So this is the people who are like saying Murtough's a footballing man. So I'm going to repeat, yeah. And the excuse that I'm getting is, well, they panicked, right? But anyway, I'm going to give you 4 options, yeah. So Man United interviewed, if you want to believe the people the club briefs, right? Manchester United interviewed 4 candidates for the interim job, yeah? Lucien Flair, Rudy Garcia, Valverde, and Ralf Ranieri, right? Out of the 4, if you look at their coaching credentials, right? In the last 10 years, they hired the guy that had the least amount of activity in the last decade in terms of on the pitch, coaching and managing a football team. So they picked the guy that was about structuring and about building football teams and about recruitment. They picked the guy. So they didn't pick Rudy Garcia, who's actively. They didn't pick Valverde. They didn't pick Lucien Ferrer. So to me, this is why the Murtough thing for me, I give him credit for the youth team, yeah? How he nicked the guys from Man City, what he started with the women's team. He helped to set up the women's team, how we got, you know, Casey Stoney, all of that. I give him credit, but I don't give him credit is that where he took his eye off the ball with the women's team, and the women's team are changing out of cabins during lockdown, and there's not even sanitation bins, like, you know, like, you know what I mean, like for them, like there isn't even any of those, right? So at the end of the day, is that people say, oh, because the Glazers didn't give him the funding. No, when you are operations of Manchester United, at the end of the day, the Glazers do what they do, but nobody's forced you or put a gun to your head to take that job, right? Nobody has said to him, nobody has said to go and take that job. And we already know, yeah, we already know Manchester United are what? Afraid to hire external things. External appointments are scared them. Why is that? Ralf Ranieri proved it. Ralf Ranieri comes in and goes, oh shit. And you know, most people go like this, listen, most people go, Ralf Ranieri was saying this from the beginning. Not because when he lost the players, he was saying this from the beginning, there's a lot of work to be done. He was speaking, like you have to just understand what he was saying, read between the lines from what he was saying. Of course, he went up, the rhetoric went up, the more he got frustrated as a human being. But the biggest thing is this, directors of football, Saeed, are determining of the profile of the coach they have. This is where I don't agree with Satman Baines or Adam, right? The profile coach that you have, and then accordingly, you then find the players that can fit into that system. And if somebody did a video, the amount of times that he talked about system, right? He didn't say, I'm the manager and it's going to be my system and it's going to be the players that I am looking for. He didn't say that. And Adam's right when he talks about Nunes, he talks about the Argentinian kid, and then he talks about Vlahovic, right? He didn't say, he said, the biggest emphasis he put on young players who are hungry. Yes, And we all assumed that they mean 40 million, 50 million. But at the end of the day, I personally believe if Ralph Ranieri was allowed to be a consultant, he would have been the footballing guy to understand. He's an intelligent man, yeah? To understand Ten Hag, to have a meeting and say, okay, we don't play similar, but I understand the type of profile. Tell me the player profiles. Because the thing about it, we're not hiring Ralph Ranieri as a consultant. We're hiring his black book, Saeed. He's got a black book. Most directors of football or footballers have got a black book of agent. They've got contacts of agents, and they've also got contacts of a vast network of scouting. That's why Ralph Ranieri was tracking people before nobody was, right? In Europe, the news was broken. In Latin America, you know, and do you understand what I'm saying to you? In different parts of Europe, he's tracking the French like youth teams. He's tracking what's going on what's coming out of Clairefontaine. Like he's tracking the German, you know, the equivalent of the German. And how to say the German FA, their youth players. He's tracking all these, just like Dortmund do. You see how Dortmund move? Dortmund track younger players, and Ralph Ranieri is that. So I believe they could have come to an understanding, but we all know Ralph Ranieri.
That's my point.
Sacked.
Yeah, that was my
Ralph
point.
Ranieri was sacked. Ralph Ranieri was sacked, and the reason why Ten Hag acted shifty in the press conference is because Ralph Ranieri was the den man walking. Rob Dawson or ESPN, Mark Ogden was going on everywhere a month before telling this consultancy thing ain't gonna fly. And Rio Ferdinand on his channel is telling you a month before, nah, the guy's got to shut up. When Rio Ferdinand is then going into the club talking to Richard Arnold, being buddy. Richard Arnold, by the way, spoke to Roy Keane, spoke to Gary Neville, spoke to Paul Scholes. He basically said, guys, don't no pressure onto me. I've employed people to take care of the footballing side. I don't want to be trending on Twitter when United fans are frustrated.
Yeah, and you know what? This is why he said Rangnick wants, and he said that, and then he left. But then whatever he said that Ten Hag wanted Frenkie de Jong, and that usually Rangnick goes for young, cheaper players. And he said that Rangnick wouldn't want Ten Hag because de Jong is an expensive player. That is. Like Saeed, you said, it's a very good point that he was working on the Red Bull budget, not the Manchester United budget. He was in love with Paul Pogba. He was in love with those players that are actually athletes and quality players. So are you really telling me that Ralph Rangnick wouldn't want someone like Frenkie de Jong?
This is my opinion.
But Adam, I don't know if any of you are consultants. As a consultant, you look at the organization. The organization determines. And what the setup there determines what you can consult on. You don't impose things on them.
I was going to your next to a point you said after that. As a consultant, when you hear Ralph Rangnick talk in press conferences and stuff, he talks about the Diego Simeone type of football. He talk about the Jose Mourinho type of football. He talks about the Nagelsmann and the Pep and the Jurgen Klopp type of football. So that means he has a very, very good and deep understanding of each of those managers who play different style of football. And he says, what is the most important thing you need to do when you come to a club? You need to decide what type of football do you want to play. So that means even with Ten Hag, and I said it earlier and I said it many times, if he had to pick himself, he wouldn't have chosen Ten Hag because he's not on his spectrum the way he plays. But if he has to work with him, he understands him enough to know which players he needs. So it could have worked. He just, what I said, he wouldn't have picked him because he would probably have chosen closer to his profile. But if you give Rangnick and Ten Hag, if you let them work together, Rangnick is intelligent enough to know, okay, well, he wants to play with the ball, possession-based football, quality. So you need more expensive players, probably like a Pep Guardiola does, for example. So it could actually made sense and it could have worked. But then again,
little do we know. Listen, we're gonna wrap it up here. Listen, I wanted to get more in, but listen, we've given you a good hour and 10 minutes. People, like the video on your way out, people. It's been a very, very good debate, man. That's what it's all about. Friday night debate. What other debate show are you gonna get on a Friday night, man? This is what it's all about, people.
Saeed, the only thing that I would say, nobody's right here. Nobody's got concrete evidence of anything.
No, yeah, absolutely.
One thing is that multiple things can be true at the same time. But for everything, I don't know how I watched the structure closely. Ralph Ranieri was sacked way before Ten Hag came in. Like, he was sacked. He was dead man walking. And that's the biggest reason. And the club then played it off us, the two things. They said, one, they tried to give two reasons. They said, they were letting reports out there and leaking. Oh, yeah, Ten Hag and Ralph don't see eye to eye. The other thing they said, he needs to concentrate on the Austria team. No. Like, I always catch Man United out lying, Saeed. You know me. I watch these things closely.
Well, listen,
and I know the people that they brief. That you know the journalists. If you don't have to do too much research, James will know, Statman will know, Adam will know, you know. There's certain number of journalists that I get briefed to put out. And if you actually read the Laurie Whitwell that dropped on the Sunday when the season was over around 6 o'clock, if you read that, it gives the actual balance. It gives a balance. It's not like hating on Ravani. It gives a balance about how the players didn't listen to him, how nobody backed him, all the things that we talked about. That nobody went into that dressing room and said, "Hey guys, this guy is in charge till then. You're playing for your contract. You're playing for your bonuses," and that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's wait and see FC, mate. Wait and see FC.
That's it. Then. No, we will, man. Wait and see FC. People, we're gonna wrap it up here. Just before I go and get everybody's names where they can follow them, make sure people, if you want to get involved in the bundle, people, if you want to get involved, you can the Manchester United sign memorabilia bundle. It's a raffle ticket. The ticket cost. Let me just take the comment out of the screen here. But the ticket costs £4.99. The link is in the description, people. You can't get it. The competition ends on the Monday, the 20th of June, 7:30, people. So the last day will be on Monday. You can get your Cantona, Keane, Giggs. I mean, Nuruddin's already dribbling at the minute. You know what I mean? Look at them players, man. Imagine we had them players now, people. So you can get your signed memorabilia bundle. Link is in the description. Football prizes, people. But listen, we're going to wrap it up here. Charlie, man, you're doing big things on YouTube. Let them know, man, where they can find you.
Yeah, man, just Fred Manchester on Twitter and YouTube, as always. Trying to do some live streams. Going to get some guests on soon. So, yeah, thanks, everyone, for watching, and big up to everybody. And, yeah, I know I'm a bit fed up tonight, but hopefully we've got a bit more to cheer about. But we won't finish in the top 4 next season the way we're going. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Definitely not. And Nuruddin, let them know where they can find you, man. United Real Therapy.
That we keep it real, innit? We always got the therapy, innit? Comedy FC.
You might need to stock up, man. You need to book in them. You need to book in them therapies, man. I think people are gonna need it, so you need to get live, mate.
No, you know what? Actually, I actually think, Saeed, I said to you when you were talking about Ole, about what the season's gonna be. I was saying, listen, we wait and see. It will all. That my favorite word is. It will all reveal itself. It will be revealed, right? We're just about patience. So people, hopefully, enjoying your summers, enjoying the nice weather, you're getting out and about. At the end of the day, Manchester United, we will know, every one of us in our instincts, everything that for the past 10 years, what it's meant. We will know if Eric Ten Hag has had, if the club are now briefing, this is all Eric Ten Hag, we will know if he's happy and if he's happy to carry the
first press conference we'll find out.
But the biggest thing for me is that, you know what? The only thing I'll say, that the only positivity is that I'm really excited to see, because for the first time we got like training ground coach that's going to tell people, stand here, hold your position, don't move from there. What are you doing? How come you can't put 3 passes together? So that is for the first time in a long time, I'm excited about preseason because I want to see the coaching methods, man. The coaching methods, the things I always told you about. When you get those people that know what they're doing, hold your position. That's why I'm excited. So it's good to be hopeful, not to just think we're going to drown in our sorrows. Wait till the season starts. I have not been sad. I've been happy. Every weekend, man, you know, I've not been ruining my weekend, man. I'll be like, weekend. It's lovely. I mean, look, it's Friday. It's Friday then. It's Friday. That's what I'm doing, bro. I'm not thinking, oh, shit, tomorrow I have to see Scott McTominay and Fred tomorrow. I'm not dreading these things again. I'm not doing that. So enjoy your holidays, people. But look,
absolutely.
United Real Therapy, people. Mr. Structure.
Yeah, we're live on Monday. Check it out, people. Statman Baines for the Myrtle prop. Let them know where you can find you.
Yeah, man. Just Statman Baines, Twitch and YouTube, innit? Just go follow.
Absolutely. And on Twitter, Adam and Devil for the part 2 of the heated debate part 2. If you want to see Adam and Danny.
That's the thing. I'm quite confrontational. Like, just I'm smooth. But I will stand up when it's needed, just so everybody knows what's up.
Absolutely. And big up to Boogie, man. He says if you don't give Saeed 1,000 likes, you are a disgrace. Exactly. So make sure, people, you like the video on your way out. Make sure you click the link in the description for the football prizes. And people, Murtough Madness lives on. Listen, next week I bet you there's nothing going on till next week. And by the time you come back next week on this Friday night debate show, I give you any money, nothing's happened. Take care.